Theresa, when it comes to Heathrow and Stansted, is your argument better, not bigger? And if so, how do you sell that to the constituents?
Well, I think there's a very broad coalition which opposes new runways at Heathrow and Stansted. And as a big part of that are residents' groups from people who would be affected by new runways. I think those new runways would have a very negative impact on the quality of life of thousands of people around the two airports and also on our environment overall. And frankly, the business case for expansion on that scale has never been made out. It's not credible at Heathrow, and it's frankly even weaker at Stansted. And the fact that the major airlines that use Stansted, even they don't think that a new runway there makes business sense, I think strengthens my confidence that the Conservatives are on the right side of the argument in saying we would stop a third runway at Heathrow and we would stop a second runway at Stansted.
And did you follow this Lower Dartford crossing story closely, and are you pleased with the work that Mike Revel and Stephen Metcalfe have done?
Well, Mike Revel and Stephen Metcalfe have put a very articulate case setting out the concerns of Orsett residents and others who are affected by this proposal. I'm going to be looking carefully at the documentation they've given me and taking on board the point of view of the thousands of people who signed the petition and took part in the survey that they've been running. And it's really good to be here to support Stephen Metcalfe's campaign to become the next Conservative MP for this area. I think he will be a great MP, and he's already listening very carefully to the views of local councillors like Mike and also the residents that they represent in taking into account their views and their concerns on the impact that this proposed route would have on their community.
Because as you're well aware, these two constituencies have transportation and regeneration are key parts of the concerns of residents. Indeed, look at DP World London Gateway. You could have hundreds of lorries thundering down the A13 every day soon. Is that just a price to pay for regeneration?
Well, with these regeneration decisions, one always has to take into account the benefits in terms of jobs and growth, but also one needs to take care in terms of the impact in terms of the environment and quality of life. And one of the advantages of my being here to meet with Stephen Metcalfe and others is actually to hear the local point of view on what that impact would be. And if I were to be the Secretary of State, if there was to be a Conservative government, then I would weigh very carefully the quality of life issues alongside, of course, the economic benefits potentially of regeneration projects.
Whilst we've got you here, last night's debate, the catchphrase seems to be this morning, I agree with Nick. Did you agree with Nick?
Well, on one or two things, but I thought David Cameron dominated the debate. I thought he was very statesmanlike. I thought he put a very detailed case for the policy changes we need to make in this country. I think people will have a clear choice, not just in this area but across the country. On the 6th of May, it's either 5 more years of Gordon Brown and his exhausted government making things worse, or change with David Cameron and the Conservatives who've got the energy and the leadership and the values actually to change this country for the better and get Britain moving.